Canadian labeling. So we need to get out there and contact these companies and ask them why they don't believe that we deserve the same right to know. We need to boycott them until they agree that we are all equals. We need everyone to get involved. And every day of the year, not just today. You know, for the past marches, everyone comes here and they're so excited and they want to make a difference. Obviously, we're all here for the same reason, because we believe that we can make a difference. We believe that we can make an impact on these corporations and on others around us. But when it comes to a week or a month or 2 months or a year after, the action is less. What we need is everyone to be involved 365 days a year. It can be in small ways, in big ways, it doesn't matter, but you need to be involved every day. And one thing I just wanted to address was that there's a division in our movement. And I think we all need to collaborate regardless of our goal. There's some people who come to these marches and they don't think we can make a change. There's some people that come to these marches and they want labeling, such as myself. There's some people that come to these marches and they want to outright ban GMOs. The reason I fight for labeling, and I'm not saying that any other cause is wrong, I agree with it all, but I think that it's a first step. And it's been proven in Europe that after GMOs were labeled, people stopped buying it, manufacturers took GMO ingredients out of their products, and farmers stopped growing it. We could have the same situation here. People can then choose what they want to eat. And that way, we can all make decisions for ourselves. Instagram, it's kidsrighttoknow.org. We are all here today because we believe in one common goal. And I've made the commitment to not remain silent. And I hope that you all make that commitment too. To stay silent would be to accept that corporations are ruining our health, our environment, and our future. And I hope that you do not accept that for us, because we all have to be involved. We have to make our voices heard and inspire a movement of not just words, but of action. We owe this to ourselves and to the many generations that are yet to come. Thank you. Join us along this march. We're marching against our march for Monsanto. And you know what those folks offer the revolution? They give us an opportunity to be heart-centered, to operate from a higher place, to not call out and get involved in a conflict, but instead operate from a place of love and explain why you're here. So I'm going to just take this as an opportunity. If we do encounter a counter-protest, my invitation to you is to be smiling and speak about why you are here from a place of positivity, because we do not build a movement being against something. We build a movement being for the world we want. So we are marching for peace freedom. We are marching for democracy. We are marching for climate justice. And this conversation is a great opportunity to introduce our friend from the Anishinaabe Nation, Idle No More member and a all-round kick-ass supporter of Things Awesome, Corey Press. Would you please come on up and share things with us?
I'm Bonjour. You weren't here earlier, Nizonsaklay. It's my Anishinaabe name. I live in Wata Mohawk territory in north of Toronto, 2 hours from Muskoka. I came here because I want to share exactly actually what Rachel was talking about, to share, messages of unity and weaving together our stories of resistance, because Indigenous people have been fighting against attacks on our food system for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years now. And we're still winning. Because what we're fighting is international trade agreements, and that's what's damaging people worldwide. Indigenous people across the land are fighting the TPP because of our land protection, our water rights, and our food rights. We need to work together with the food to overcome Monsanto, because once that TPP gets approved, we're all in a lot of trouble. People are in a lot of trouble, not corporations. There'll be no accountability for the sickness that is happening to our bodies right now. Indigenous people have the highest rates of diabetes and heart disease directly connected to the food that we're eating, because it's not our Indigenous food. So you need to support your local Indigenous communities to make sure that they have access to those foods. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today.
Thanks, Lori. We keep saying, get involved when you leave, and you're like, but how, right? So a couple of things that are coming up. I had mentioned, again, livestock, July 10th. In October, Food Secure Canada, which is an organization that came together in 2001, formed as an official organization in 2005, represents this particular conversation around the food system, from food insecurity all the way on through to the quality of food that we're producing. They're doing their National Assembly, which happens every 2 years here in Toronto, October 13th to 16th, and that's foodsecurecanada.org. Please get involved, come on out and learn, find out what's happening in your backyard and across the country. And then on August 13th, the Chippewa of the Thames and some other folks from First Nations in the Great Lakes Basin are organizing an Earth Stock event. No details yet, it's literally just in the works right now, but if you stay tuned on Facebook, there will be an announcement. It'll be an opportunity to learn a little bit more about what Tori was talking about, ways that settler people can be not just good allies, but good friends, and solidly responsible to our First Nations friends. Okay? So, thank you. Michael Schmidt, are you around? So Michael Schmidt might not need much of an introduction to many of you. Michael is a farmer and an activist. He is currently facing 7 concurrent court cases related to his protecting the right for artisanal foodways from our government. He's facing hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines. He's facing jail time, and he's doing that because he simply wants to farm properly. Please put your hands together and welcome my hero, Michael Schmidt.
A beautiful good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to speak here. I think for the last 3 years they asked me to come down, but I always ended up in court cases, or I had actually said I would shut up because I had too many court cases on my hand. Because every time I get involved in something, I get arrested and charged new. But let me tell you one thing. It was talked about before here that these rallies, they are important. There's no question. But they're only important if you go home and that you actually take up action. Because if you only come to the rally and put your poster away and keep going with your life, then what you're doing is you're postponing the problem the next generation will face. So either, and we have the choice, either we deal with the problem in order to save the future of our children, or we avoid dealing with the problem, and then our children and grandchildren have to deal with that. And you look around, how many children are here who don't have a protection in the future if we don't stand up here? Yeah. I'm not suggesting that, because that amounts to conspiracy. But why are there no fields burning in Canada? Yeah. Why are we letting things happen? It's not because Monsanto is bad. Monsanto is doing business, and business is bad. But Monsanto is doing what the shareholders want, and we let it happen. So it is us who advance these kind of developments through inaction and through apathy that we don't do and we think others can do the work for us. It's only a few, and when you look around, there's a lot of weirdos around, but weirdos change the world. And we shouldn't be afraid to be weirdos. Because the problem is that everything, which is basically a Tim Hortons system, continues in our mind, that everybody is conditioned in the same way, that we just keep going what is best for commercial business, but not best for our children. So I beg you, I honestly beg you, you need to take actions, whatever you think you can do. And I can also tell you that being arrested, sitting in jail, is a freeing experience. Because that's the only time where you realize they finally take you serious. Thank you.
Schmidt, everyone! Now, Michael is not one for idle words. He came here to work. That man brought his tractor down to this protest, and we are going to, in a few short moments, walk our way over, and we're going to follow him down the street in solidarity with farmers across the globe. Thank you, Michael. I have, my bee friend here has some March Against Monsanto pins. If you would like one, they are by donation. Please make your way there. The Toronto police who are here being our escorts have been incredibly generous to us and accommodating. And so we are going to be respecting their leadership, guiding us safely to make our protest. So thank you, Toronto Police Department. The only reason any of us are here 5 years on is because James Connor, an ordinary Canadian like you, decided to put his foot down and say no more, not on my watch. James does not have a background as an organizer. He comes to this from the same place you're standing here now, just making a personal decision not to put up with it any longer. Despite his own, his life goes on. James has been dealing with some health issues over the last few years and has still managed to take leadership and pull this event off. So first of all, a round of applause for James. 5 years of hard work. Okay. Thanks, here you go, James Connor.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all of our speakers. You're just amazing. I want to thank everybody who helped to pull this together. We had some really rough moments towards the end. I've had 4 hours sleep in 48. You might wonder why I'm sitting, and I'm going to tell you. Who was here last year for the march at this spot? Okay, well, you might have noticed when I went to speak, when I was standing up there, I became very shaky and had to sit down. I didn't know what was happening to me at the time, but by the time we got to Christie Pitts, I could barely walk. I haven't been working since last May. I'm now on disability. And in October, I was diagnosed with something very similar to Parkinson's disease. It's called ataxia. It affects my motor skills and my walking. And in this case, I got, my equilibrium was thrown off and I got vertigo. So I'm going to be walking really slowly today, which will be nice for some of you who are also disabled. So just bear with me. I actually came today with the intention of telling you all that this is going to be the last March Against Monsanto that Millions Against Monsanto Toronto hosts. However, my admin, the bee lady over here, she wasn't having it. So, we will continue to host. I don't know if I'm going to be able to march in future, but I'll always be managing the page. And if we are going to have an event next year, I really need people to come together and form a collective to try and get this off the ground, because I can't do it on my own. I really can't. And at this point, I am the only manager for Millions Against Monsanto Toronto. Most of the admins are now gone and doing other things. So it's all fallen on my shoulders. And with my illness and just things going on in my life, it's just not possible for me to do this alone anymore.
We need you guys!
When I got my diagnosis, the very first thing that came to mind in the doctor's office was, what am I going to do about the march against Monsanto?
We'll keep marching.
But we're going to keep marching, and I'm going to march against Monsanto today.
We're gonna do it.
Lastly, I'm going to tell you what our mission statement is. It's great that we march in the streets and create awareness like this. That's what it's all about. But really, the only way that we're going to affect any kind of change is by voting with your dollar. That's our mission statement. If these corporations see their profit margins falling by even 5%, they're going to rethink their business model. So you got to just make sure you vote with your dollar. Stop supporting these corporations. Spread the word. And it's great that there's companies like Campbell's and whatnot coming out with labeling. I think labeling is great, but you know what? It's not going to stop them from growing it. I'm an environmentalist, and my biggest concern is the amount of chemicals that are being dumped onto this planet.
That's right.
So what I want to see is a ban. It may not happen in our lifetime, but the most we can do is vote with our dollar and force these corporations to rethink their business model. I really want to thank you all for being here today. I'm really moved by the amount of support that I've been given in the last few months. We're going to march shortly. You're going to have to allow us a bit of time to kind of wrap up and put things away first. And I'll let you know over the blowhorn when it's time to march, and you will follow myself and Michael Schmidt to the tractor, and the march will begin. We'll be going along Wellesley, down Yonge Street, to Queen Street, and then west to Old City Hall. At that point, I would like everyone to congregate on the steps of Old City Hall, and we're going to take a giant group photo. And that will be the end of the march.
So everybody here, a round of applause for Beekeeper Karen McKenna.
GMO has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. GMO has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. GMO has got to go, hey, hey. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? GMOs have got
I know Monsanto's a fool.
Off the sidewalk, into the streets. 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 Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? You're so proud of it. Why not label it? We will be posting this solidarity with farmers around the planet. You did not have to be part of this along the route, but if you believe in a clean food system, if you believe in a world where farmers can make a living, please jump in this photograph. I'm going to be sending this out to farmers around the planet, and they need to see that people in Canada give a shit about their lives. We say no to Monsanto!
Hell no GMO!
Hell no GMO!
We say no to Monsanto!
We say no to Monsanto!
Hell no GMO!
Hell no GMO!
We say no to Monsanto!
repeat. Bitch about something, I don't care what. One letter a week. And all that's the time.
See you next year, folks.